Today on Project Comic-Con, we talk to the stars of Spartacus, get the inside scoop on God of War: Ghost of Sparta, and find out who wins in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, Spartacus is awesome. It's a fun show to watch.
Last night, we stormed the red carpet of the Stars Spartacus party and scored a one-on-one battle with the cast over what to expect in the second season.
You can expect bigger, better, faster, more hardcore. Now that we're out of the ludus and the actual slave revolt has started, we are going huge.
Season 2 is kind of about building that slave army, so it's a lot of liberating people to join the cause and, yeah, surviving as a rebel army.
Just great writing. Really characters who are really morally imperiled.
The battles will be bigger, the action will be bigger, but the drama will be just as intense.
Warner Brothers continues its series of animated movies adapting DC classics, this time bringing thriller Batman Under the Red Hood to life with an amazing cast of voices.
Judd Winnick did the adaptation himself of his own comics material. It follows the comic pretty closely. There's a new villain in Gotham City named the Red Hood. He's kind of taking over some of the crime organizations in the city, in some cases wiping them out. At a certain point in the story, Batman kind of puts two and two together and realizes that he's met this villain before, and that's the big mystery of it.
We get to see a lot of emotional reaction from Batman, and we know how good an actor Bruce Greenwood is, and we thought that would be a really nice marriage of role and actor.
You start at 10 o'clock in the morning, and by 6 in the afternoon, your voice is down here, and it's over.
Speaking of Batman, we caught up with Grant Morrison, one of the biggest names in comics today, and he spilled the beans on Batman Incorporated.
Bruce Wayne has now returned from his journey in the past, and he's taken up the Batman suit again, so it's kind of all about what happens to Batman and Robin, Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne and those characters that we love. Where does it all go? And it's the notion of what happens when Bruce Wayne takes over Batman and he starts to use all his resources in a different way. I direct people to this great Peter Sellers film called The Magic Christian, where Sellers plays the richest man on earth, and what he does is he sets up these huge Mission Impossible style scenarios. So it's kind of almost Batman as Bruce Wayne as the Magic Christian. What would you really do if you were Batman? You could spend all of that money on being Batman. You don't have to pretend anymore that it's a corporation.
Coming soon is God of War: Ghost of Sparta. We met up with design manager Nathan Gary to talk all about the upcoming game.
The really exciting part is that it's going to fill in a lot of who Kratos is and what he's become. There's a lot of questions that were posed in God of War 3, nuggets that were in there that people are curious about. There might be some answers in God of War: Ghost of Sparta. One of the things we're really excited about is there's also a new weapon that's the spear and the shield. It's one weapon, but it has multiple uses. Move while you block and poke, throw the spear, a new navigation move where he actually slides. There's also a few more new navigation moves that are throughout the game. So we're also bringing some new modes for Kratos to move around and interact with the environment as well.
I was in shock about how amazing it was.
It was really good.
I really love Edgar Wright.
One of the fan favorites at the con this year is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, a romantic comedy with a video game-playing anti-hero played by Michael Cera. We caught up with the cast and director Edgar Wright to discuss the graphic novel adaptation.
It's kind of getting the tone right because, the books are they're funny, but they're also kind of magical and fantastical, and, there's a craziness which you can get away with easier on the printed page. What attracted me to the project is the challenge of doing that, really. I wanted to work on a comic book adaptation that was not a superhero film. It's not like a sci-fi film, it's kind of its own beast, and so that was attractive to me, that it was something a little different.
My character, she hates his character in the movie, Scott Pilgrim, so a lot of my scenes were spent cursing him out, and that was really fun.
My death scene obviously was an interesting one, death by orgasm. Embarrassing, I gotta say. I mean, the set, everybody was trying not to make jokes, didn't really go too well, and watching it in the theater with my parents was uncomfortable.
I love V. It's a good show. Marina Baccarin.
Secret Alien Invasion series V is preparing for a second season. We caught up with the cast to find out what to expect in the near future.
I'm excited about it. I talked to Scott Rosenbaum for 2.5 hours about it. Everything he told me, I kept going, really? It was like two kind of like nerdy kids getting together, but yet he can make it happen.
This season's going to open up with, I'm still going to be on the fence. Am I going to go to the dark side or go to the good side? I'm going to be very decisive in which side I'm going to be on.
It's fun to play a guy who's not a bad guy. He's a guy who's vulnerable to his own human frailty, and I think that speaks to the larger vision for the story.
I've been blessed to have some great casts in my past, and this one in particular is almost like a family. All of us moved to Vancouver and didn't know anybody, so we hang out. Elizabeth has like popcorn parties. And
they suck. I mean, they're terrible, they're mean. It's been really nice.
Well, that's it for day 3. Tune in tomorrow for an interview with comic and cameo legend Stan Lee, a look into DC Universe Online, and a special feature on the costumes of this year's convention.